Today is January 15, 2021. You're looking at the back end of a 2013/2014 Indian Chieftain that I put a custom paint job on in February 2014. And so I'm as concerned as the next person about taking care of the bike. Discussion had been about how to secure a Roadmaster to a wheel chock on a trailer. So that's what prompted my doing this, trying to explain the ins and outs, I guess, of what has worked for me. Main thing is that I'm an advocate for trying to do things by myself, and something that's going to be sufficient to transport a motorcycle as well as take care of it while in transit. Since I've been hauling my own bikes since 1970, I've come up with various ways to doing things. So with the Chieftain, just like anything else that's got a telescoping front end or a hydraulic front end with seals in it, you don't want to fasten to the handlebars. And the main reason is, especially if the screws that are in this thing are not torqued down well enough at the factory or at your dealership, that if you put it on the handlebars, not only does it hurt over a period of time, the seals that are in the front end, but your handlebars can actually shift downwards, and you get back on the bike and go, what the heck had happened here? So anyway, you don't want to do that. The other option is to secure at other vantage points on this bike. And I'm going to take a moment to show you what has worked for me in the past, not only just for this bike, but I've got other motorcycles, and now whether vintage, meaning back to 1928 that I've had, to this 2014 Chieftain, and others that I currently own. I'm using the same method for each time, and that is to secure to a wheel chock, in this case a Condor wheel chock, but other chocks would probably work. And I'm going to, without having a wheel chock here because the bike is stationary, it's not in my trailer, but hopefully you'll be able to get from me the idea of how I transport this particular motorcycle. You're looking at a 2014 Indian Chieftain. I've transported bikes, my own bikes, since the 70s, and I've found various ways to secure the bike to the whatever that I was hauling it on in later years when I went to wheel chocks and so on. The front tire is already in the wheel chock. I'm in my garage, so I don't have a wheel chock in here. But what I wanted to show is my method for securing the bike is not to, of course, fasten the handlebars like I used to do years ago, or maybe on a rigid front end, but with a hydraulic front end with the seals and everything else. I don't winch down on that, especially on the handlebars on this. If the nuts or the Torx head screws aren't tightened down on the handlebars tight enough, your handlebars will actually shift. But either way, my easiest way is to take your tie-down strap, loop it around the frame, both left and right side of the bike, and then secure one end of your tie-down strap through the loop, and then take the other end, of course, and fasten it to whatever eye bolt you have on the floor, or whatever fixture that you have, or even the frame of a trailer if you're hauling this down the road. So you do this, and then you cinch it down, bingo, you're done. The other choice is to take the end of the hook, and in the case of the Chieftain, you can actually secure it to one of the extensions for the footboard, as in such. And then also secure this, anchor this. So they require 4 straps, of course, but your bike is worth 4 straps. In addition, the balance of the strap, this end-up strap, what I've traditionally done is I will take this strap, I'll loop it around the wheel chock through the front tire, and do this maybe 2 to 3 loops through the tire, and then I will tie the strap in place. What that does is, of course, it takes up the extra slack, but this has actually saved my bikes in the past inside my trailers, open trailer. At one time, actually careening around Dallas, Texas, it actually happened on an on-ramp to the interstate, where the bike actually bounced out of the wheel chock or the back end had bounced and laid on its side. But the only thing that held the bike on the trailer was the fact that I had looped my strap around the wheel chock. I've seen other people loop around here between the front end and the fender, and I don't know if you got a custom paint job or not. But regardless, if it's a black bike, if it's an older bike, I wouldn't do that because of the clearance on here, in the Indian at least, because to see something wrapped around you 3 or 4 times and I'm paying somebody to transport my bike and that paint is GERD, I would be pretty upset. So this is an easy peasy way. It works. I've transported this particular bike since 2013 when I bought it up in St. Paul, Minnesota. Brought it down to Tennessee. It is now 2021. And so I am posting this for other people. Hopefully it'll help.